The Scandinavian defense immediately challenges the center by attacking the e4 pawn. E takes d5 is the best choice as it opens up the center, and if black recaptures on d5 with the queen, white will happily attack the queen with knight c3. Queen takes d5 recaptures the d5 pawn and places the queen in the center, where it controls many important squares. Knight c3 develops the knight toward the center and immediately attacks the queen. This knight move also starts the fight for the e4 square. Queen a5 removes the attacked queen from the center after white moves their d-pawn. To d4 or d3, the knight on c3 will be pinned. d4 takes space in the center, controls the e5 and c5 squares, and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. Knight f6 develops the knight toward the center and controls the e4 and d5 squares. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, protects the d4 pawn, and controls the e5 square. Bishop f5 develops the bishop to an active diagonal and controls the center. The opening development is progressing well. This prepares the bishop for development. This is not the right idea. This prevents the opponent from being able to tactically win a queen. The bishop is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This is the only move that works. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Takes back. This moves the queen to safety. This threatens to force doubling of pawns. Developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Recaptures. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Takes back. This is the only good move. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. The rook is now on an open file, which helps control squares across the board. This misses an opportunity to develop a rook off its starting square. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This blocks the attack on a pawn that could have been captured. Right on target. This blocks an attack on a pawn. This moves the bishop to safety. A very strong play. This is the strongest option. The knight finds a new active square. White activates the last piece, bringing all pieces into play. This offers an equal trade of pieces. Very precise. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Takes back. This fights against the other rook for the open file. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. This misses a much better move. This threatens to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. This misses a better way to add a defender to a vulnerable pawn. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. This threatens to win a pawn through a fork. One of the best moves. The game is still close to equal, but white lost their advantage. The game was close to equal, but now black is in a losing position. White still has an advantage, but they no longer have a winning position. White was better off, but now their position is winning. This is the only move that works. This steps away from the checking rook. This misses a better way to win a tempo by threatening a rook. This moves the rook to safety. This captures a pawn and eliminates a threat. Right on target. This gives away a free pawn. This misses an opportunity to capture a free pawn. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. This protects the attacked knight. This is the only good move. This captures a knight and eliminates a threat. Takes back. This is the only move that works. This move puts the rook on a safer square. This is the only good move. This evades the check from the rook. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Recaptures. This is the strongest option. Very precise. This misses an opportunity to activate the king by getting it off of the back rank. Now black can't stop white from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. This is a fair move. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. An active king is critical in the endgame, and getting it off of the back rank is the first step. That pawn was free for the taking. A solid choice. This wins a pawn. This moves the knight to safety. That pawn was free for the taking. This evades the check from the knight. This moves the knight to safety. Right on target. This is the strongest option. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Takes back. Very precise. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. Putting the piece on a blockade square. Right on target. A very strong play. This is the strongest option. Black's knight has moved to a square with greater activity and control. Very precise. This steps away from the checking knight. Right on target. One of the best moves. This evades the check from the knight. This moves the knight to safety. This is the strongest option. This steps away from the checking knight. A solid choice. The knight finds a new active square. Pushing a passed pawn. This evades the check from the pawn. A very strong play. Very precise. One of the best moves. A solid choice. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. Right on target. This is the strongest option.